Hey everybody, Dave Nasty here. Welcome to Epic Guitar Instruction. We're going to have a good time today. We're going to learn a really great song by Justin Moore, How I Got to Be This Way. We're going to use a capo on the first fret. We are in standard tuning, so everything will be really good. And we're going to talk about maybe how to put this thing on here so when our guitar stays in perfect tune when we strum it. And we're in the key of G. We're strumming our chords in the key of G when we use our capo, I should say. And it'll be nice and fun to go through. And we have some good parts. Use a little bit of power chord. We're going to rock out, so come along with me and let's learn this song here. So let's start with the intro. And in the intro, you're going to kind of voice some pretty common chords in a bit of a different fashion so we can incorporate some melody in them. I'm going to actually return to more of a G voicing that looks like this. So let's take a look at this guy. I'm not going to incorporate all of my notes in here like I typically might. I'm going to have just my third finger, what is going to act as my third fret, but of course you can tell this is 4. And then I have my pinky on the second string. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer some melodic notes on the B string, and the next note is going to be to my first finger. So I get... And I've got all of this transferring melody all happening on the second string. Then I'm going to jump down, and I'm right there on that F chord. And we have, and you can see the F chord is voiced or starting in a bit of a similar fashion where I have my third finger on the D string and my pinky on the high E string there. First finger remained on the what'll be my first fret on the second string. So I have, then I'm going to jump to a C chord. So that's when I'm going to bring in my first part of my melody there. Notice I've got a lot of open strings, excuse me, and I'm only playing with 2 fingers. Let's go back to the beginning and we'll take our time with it. Jump into that C chord. Then what we're going to do is we're going to bring our finger down and we're going to push up just a little bit on that third string. So that gives us this. So we have a little bit of a hammer-on and pull-off there going on that 4th string. 4th string to an open 3rd string. So I'll speed that up for you a little bit, but that's the gist of it. I love that intro. It's nice and tasty, and we have some good work going on with the use of our capo. So it's kind of neat. I'll just show you at the end there. As I do this part here, I'm going to leave this pinky note here ringing so it just kind of carries over, and that's hitting the D string or striking that D string, hammering down, and then picking that 3rd string. So that's going to give me one more time and then we'll move on to the verse. Alrighty, so for our verse what we're going to do is we're going to play a G power chord. I like to play a power chord with, normally you might see people fret them this way. I like to use my pinky for a lot of reasons, particularly because I can almost lazily lay it across here to kind of dampen any of these lower strings, enabling me to really block any of those out in case I get a little wide with my right hand as I'm strumming my rhythm. So the first chord is a G chord. We're moving down to what is going to act as if an F chord. And I'm referring to this, I must say, as if I'm on, I'm not using a capo. I'm just kind of using common terms, so that way it's easy to remember. But this will be my 3rd fret, this will be my 1st fret, and this will be, of course, like what would be a C chord. So our driving rhythm. Now, you kind of hear how there's some stuff happening between the chords. Kind of almost like you would see it in tab, you would see just like a bunch of open notes all of a sudden, or a bunch of open strings as I'm transferring through. Well, it's a bit of a percussive sound, and it doesn't have to be there, but it's something that stylistically I will put in there. Let's listen to the difference. Straight. And we're getting that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Now I'll get a little lazy with my hands. It just adds a little bit to it, that's all. Just kind of a percussive way to go through and add some rhythm. But again, you know, thinking about that wonderful fact that every time our snare hits, it's on 2 and 4, I'm just kind of accenting that with my strum. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And that's a pretty straight ahead verse if I've ever heard it before. What we can do with that if we want to embellish off this, we hear some licks like that in the song that take place. So what I do to execute that, this is another way to play, or basically take a look at what would be a C major bar chord, is I'm going to fret it like this. So if I'm getting to that point of my verse, you'll hear those pop up from time to time in the song. So let's do that the same every time so we can put that in as well. One more time with that, nice and slow. And that's going to cover us for our verse right there. Our chorus. I'm just strumming out the intro a bit more, right? It's going to be treated kind of like the same, but I'm going to apply a bit more of an intense strum to it. There, right there, and we pause. That's how we get out of our chorus. So our chorus is the same as our intro. So in addition to some of the strumming that we've gone through today in our lesson, if you want a little more help in some advanced strumming or to cover all of your strumming patterns that you may encounter when playing country music, all you got to do is click on the link that you see below in that YouTube text box. We'll provide you with a free ebook and a great video that goes through all of these different strumming patterns, some moving bass lines and different techniques that you will encounter when playing rhythm guitar, but we make it really easy for you and we cover everything that you need, and it's free. All you got to do is just click on that link. And you know, I will say this, with some of these country songs, what you're going to find is a lot of the times we've got repeating chords going on. So the dynamics in the way that we treat them and how we can learn from a song like this is by noticing how maybe they've made subtle changes from one section to the next. Sometimes in the intro, if that's going to turn out to be our chorus, we can address playing it differently, but to the listener, we might not notice that it's always the same part. So when we're writing songs or when we're taking lessons in songwriting, we can notice these things, that sometimes we can take these chords and modify them just ever so slightly, and we don't have to always come up with an entirely new part to keep writing our songs. And that's a good lesson in song structure and songwriting when learning pieces of music like this. So I think that's pretty great. So we have the intro, we have our verse, and now we have our chorus. Let's take a look at what happens in our bridge. And the bridge is going to come straight out of a chorus section. So that's going to come into an accent that starts on this type of F chord. So this is a suspended type of F chord where I've got my pinky on the high E string. And I'm going to go to a C chord, and it's going to be strummed just like this. That's going to be our bridge. So let's play that one more time. Alrighty, so that comes out of the chorus. Let's play a chorus into that so we can hear what that sounds like. that takes us again to a breakdown. Now our breakdown is a nice little section that we're going to hybrid pick. So this is kind of different, right, from what we've done thus far. Let's take a look at what I'm doing here with my right hand. So with my right hand, I'm going to actually use my middle finger to address this third string, and my third finger here to get the B string. Now you notice I'm kind of stopping them as I go, a bit more advanced with our technique here, but we're going to go. And I'm on fret 8 and I'm on fret 9 here. So this is the third string and the second string. Now I'm 6 and 7 and 6 and back to 6 and 7. And that's going to take place of our nice little breakdown right after our bridge section. Now if I use a pick, notice it looks like I'm playing an chord with my middle finger here, but all my middle finger is doing is laying kind of lazy-like, and I'm muting out some of these additional strings. So almost AC/DC in orientation with our breakdown, but you can see how we're rocking along with an acoustic. This covers all the parts to our song. We're going to lead right out of this into a chorus. And a chorus, of course, as we talked about, is consistent of all of our chords from our intro. So I hope you can have fun jamming this song out. I really love to play it myself. When I do this, I like to treat some of my nice pentatonic licks to work right along with this. So if you want to kind of incorporate some of that scale in there, you surely can. So please, everybody, subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and give us a nice little click on that like down there that we all enjoy, and leave us a comment. That's what we really would like for you to do for us today, because we're here to provide you with some great content, and we want to work with you, and we love your input and your feedback. So thank you so much. Appreciate you checking out the videos, and we'll see you next time.